How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. Policymakers didn't regulate crypto because they thought it would essentially die. The latest uptick in regulatory action around the globe may be due to policymakers finally waking up to cryptocurrencies. On the recent panel in the City Digital Market Symposium in London, which touched on crypto regulations in the UK, Europe, and United States, Barclays head of digital policy Nicole Sadler argued that the apparent late arrival of policymakers was actually intentional. I think one thing certain policymakers have said is that they left the market to do what it wanted to do because they thought it would essentially die, she said. And it hasn't died, it's grown, it's grown, it's grown. During her experience in 2016 when she discussed the legal framework around digital assets with the European Commission, Sadler argued that the space may have been nascent then, but it certainly isn't now, and again repeated that this wasn't why regulators stayed away from it recently. It wasn't that they couldn't regulate it, it was a choice to see where the market went, she said. And now that they know they have to regulate it, but the problem is regulation takes a long time to finish, and because they were slow to the draw, now they're rushing to get on something that they should have done from the beginning. Binance CZ BitBoy Crypto dragged into new $1 billion lawsuit. It is raining lawsuits for Binance. Its cryptocurrency exchange has been dragged into a class action lawsuit seeking $1 billion in damages. According to a Fortune report, Makowitz Law Firm and Boy Schiller Flexner filed a class action lawsuit against Binance, its CEO, Shipeng Zhao, and three other influencer basketball star Jimmy Butler, Graham Stephan, and Ben Armstrong or BitBoy Crypto. Binance accused, according to the report, Binance listed unregistered securities as cryptocurrencies had paid social media influencers to promote these assets. The firms claimed they investigated the crypto exchange for over a year before filing a lawsuit. I never really heard many of these promoted on BitBoy's channel. I can't speak for the other channels, so. But one of the cryptocurrencies considered unregistered security in the case is the Binance token BNB. The filing argued that BNB burn program makes the asset an unregistered security because it reduces the coin supply to boost its value. Now that's concerning because there's quite a few coins like SHIB and other coins that have a burn mechanism in them to get rid of old coins or get rid of some of the supply through transactions. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of three plaintiffs, two Florida residents, and one person from California who said they lost money while trading digital assets promoted by Binance and the influencers. The complaint suggested in the case that would have millions of people eligible for damages. The statute clearly states that if an influencer is promoting an unregistered security and has a financial interest in doing so, the influencer may be liable to everyone who bought the assets. The exchange that facilitates the trade would be liable as well. This is why I will never tell you guys what coin you should buy or if you should buy a coin or not. UK banks are turning away crypto clients. Crypto companies are facing difficulties accessing bank services in the United Kingdom, according to multiple sources interviewed by Bloomberg. The few banks still working with crypto firms are requesting more documentation and information about how they monitor client transactions. Challenges include having applications rejected, accounts frozen, and being overwhelmed with paperwork. Crypto companies have even complained to the Prime Minister, Rashid Sunak, as the situation worsened in the last weeks, and this move is in the opposite direction of Sunak's plans to prioritize financial technology disruption and make UK a global crypto hub. So the crackdowns are really working against them to make it a hub. So far in 2023, venture capital investment in digital asset companies reportedly dropped 94% to $55 million in the UK. Crypto companies are turning to payment service providers such as BCB Payments and Stripe to maintain business operations in the UK. So it's so hard to get a bank that they're going to third-party, non-banking transactions. Earlier in March, the HSBC banned cryptocurrency purchases via credit cards for retail customers, joining a growing list of banks in the country to tighten restrictions on digital assets. Many of the major UK banks have now put in place bans or restrictions and are concerned that other banks and payments provider services may also soon follow suit, said Crypto UK. We believe that government action is now warranted. So it's getting really hard to do anything with crypto in the UK through a bank. So over on the daily, we rejected out of a symmetrical triangle. I was hoping to talk about this before the rejection, but unfortunately we were really close to the breakout point by this morning. On Twitter, you might have seen a little bit of a glimpse of it. We had this descending triangle that we also broke down from and got pretty much the full move, but we'll talk about that later. So our stochastic is falling. We have a bearish divergence that is confirmed. We have a bearish candle pattern here as we have a large green candle, a doji candle that's red, followed by a large red candle. This is usually a top signal. RSI is falling, stochastic's falling, our momentum wave is falling, and we have that red dot. So that red dot is signaling that the momentum wave could start to fall, kind of like back right here. Green dots typically get a move up. So this bearish divergence that we have could take us down, and we could see a bit more of a fall. Bearish divergences don't have much weight on their self, but the money flow, this green bar here, is coming out, and our VWAP, the yellow, is coming out with it. So the VWAP is our short term, and the money flow is money coming into the asset, and they're both testing breaking bearish. So if that bearish break happens, that'd be bad for the daily. Over on the 4 hour, we are in the red with money flow. We are trying to come back up, so we'll have to see if in the next few candles we can push back up or not. We did reject this blue point of control line on our volume profile, so since we've rejected it, we could come up, retest it, and then possibly reject it again from there if we don't break above it. Momentum is coming down, our VWAP is kind of flattening out after making a significant bearish move, and our stochastic, these two lines here, are falling, but they could make a little bit of a cross up, and our RSI is coming up. Again, if you're not familiar with all these signals, please watch our intro videos. We have one link down below in our video to get you started, and you can watch the playlist from there to learn all these indicators, aside from this new market cipher. That'll be one of the new videos I had to make. So over on the 2 hour, you can see this triangle we had right around this breakout point. I made it right after we had this candle. So right after last night's video, I started to play around and made a symmetrical triangle that had the same breakout point above, but also had the breakout point below. We also started getting some candle wicks here, so we were able to make this descending triangle as price was sloping down here, and we had a baseline here. So that breakout point would take us right around where we are right now, to about 28K. So that's why we're kind of flooding around this 28K level. We have heavy selling pressure with these red bars here. So if we don't get bullish momentum to the upside from here, it's likely that pressure could drop us even lower, and we could lose this point of control. Again, watch my Fibonacci retracement video to learn what this golden pocket is. But momentum is trying to curl. Money flow is somewhat coming out. Momentum's trying to test that neutral area, which is right here, and our stochastic's trying to head back up with our RSI, so we are trying to make some bullish moves up on these lower time frames. The 1 hour money flow is well into the red, so that's a bearish sign. Our stochastic's trying to curl, RSI is losing ground and pointing down, and our momentum wave is trying to round up, but all our other signals are looking pretty bearish, so I wouldn't put too much weight just on the momentum wave. Our VWAP is trying to run up, so those two signals are counter to everything else. So if we look over on graph, I kind of already gave you my 2 cents on what I think could happen, so we'll have to see if it happens or not, if we get that retest and then a rejection, or a retest and then a break up. We'll have to kind of watch for new patterns to form. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to alert you with this pattern for tonight's video, but that's why you should follow me on Twitter. We do have this triangle, descending triangle for graph that we're still inside. We weren't able to break above these resistance lines. Money flow's curling away with a red dot. VWAP, or momentum's curling away with a red dot, sorry. Stochastic's got a bearish cross and is heading down. RSI is heading down. VWAP's heading down. And our money flow is crossing bearish. So overall, everything's looking pretty bearish for a graph right now. Over on the 4-hour, stochastic is falling, meaning our RSI is losing strength. Our RSI is trying to curl around this neutral zone, but with this stochastic falling, it's likely we'll get bent back down. Our money flow is coming out, so overall money is leaving this asset, and our VWAP is trying to head back up for a possible retest. Momentum wave is somewhat getting signs that it could try to curl, but it could also start to continue to fall from here, as it's pretty straight. Over on the 2-hour, momentum wave is somewhat curling. We got a double green dot here that could help propel us up. Our VWAP's trying to make a bullish cross. RSI is trying to make a bearish cross. Stochastic is making a bearish cross, but we have a bullish divergence that could help push us up, but not every divergence is going to play out. That's why they're not a good solid signal alone. Our RSI is kind of flattening out, but overall losing ground. And our money flow overall is in the bearish trend. So overall, I'd say we look pretty bearish on the 2-hour in my opinion. Stochastic is trying to make divergences and run up, so we could have the lower time frames build up some pressure to propel us forward, but I'd look for this money flow to cross bullish before getting too excited. Our momentum wave is trying to curl up, our stochastic's trying to curl down, RSI is kind of flat. Remember, the one strategy I say is the money flow being bullish on the 1-hour, 2-hour, and 4-hour. Usually you can kind of try and front run the 4-hour if things are looking good, but I'd be careful doing that. So Anchor, our biggest gainer, is our biggest loser today, making a tweezer tops. That is a bearish pattern that could signal we could have some strong downside. So if you got in down here, I'd suggest taking profits. At least if I was in a trade, that's what I do, because you want to buy red, sell green. Not financial advice, but that's usually a winning strategy. Stochastic's somewhat trying to bend, RSI is somewhat trying to bend, VWAP's trying to bend, momentum's starting to bend, our money flow is starting to come out. So overall, we're looking like we could get some reversal here and not looking too strong. If we do get a bounce off the point control tomorrow, that would be a good sign that we could move forward. But so far we got rejected from the high value area, which is the red line. Over on the 4-hour, our stochastic's somewhat trying to curl, kind of going over this oversold area. Could just bounce along here for a while and flatten out and go nowhere, like we've seen right here in the tops. So don't get too excited until you actually see that curl happen. Momentum's starting to curl down and could break bearish soon. Money flow overall is coming out, and our VWAP overall is coming down, but somewhat stagnant. So we're looking slightly bullish leaning, like we could try and push up from here, but that's because we're coming into a strong support area, because we have this local support as well as this volume profile support. So over on the 2-hour, RSI is overall heading down. Stochastic's really beat down and I can't even see it. It's nowhere to be found. Money flow is overall coming out. Momentum is coming down. So overall we're looking really bearish on the 2-hour. And this could just be the beginning of more downside. Money flow is really in the red here on the 1-hour. Momentum's trying to make a cross, but we are getting red candles, so we're not getting very much momentum for that cross. VWAPs and stochastic is bouncing along this neutral zone and kind of just dead right now. RSI is falling. We're about to break the neutral zone, just riding that neutral zone. If we break it, that could spell disaster for those higher medium time frames. Over on XRP, we've managed to get some slight gains here. Not very much, nothing too exciting. Our momentum overall is still curling down. Stochastic's overall still curling down. RSI is trying to recover, so that's why I say even if the stochastic rolls over, as long as it's high, it's still bullish. Anything over 30 is bullish momentum. But if you're heading down toward 30, then you're losing bullish steam. So don't be like, ooh, we're at 32, so we're bullish. No, it doesn't work that way. VWAP is kind of flattening out. Money flow is kind of flattening out. They're both in the bearish zone. So we are kind of trying to push away from bearish action here. 4-hour money flow is pretty flat. 14 we're sitting at. That's pretty much where we've been for quite a while. Momentum's trying to come back up, but you can see it's somewhat starting to roll over here, so we could lose some momentum here. VWAP's starting to point down, so our medium term is pointing down, starting to point downwards as well. So overall, we're looking pretty cautionary. Stochastic's starting to bend, RSI is starting to head down, so not looking too well. Our stochastic's falling pretty sharply right now. RSI is falling slightly. Momentum's got that red dot and is falling. Our VWAP's got a slight bearish break, same with money flow, but they are trying to head back up, so we'll have to watch if they can test that neutral zone and break bullish and hold strongly. If you get a little baby break like this, then that's nothing. Over on the 1 hour, momentum overall is bearish. It tried to come up slightly, however got rejected and is somewhat heading back down since. Momentum VWAP is kind of flattening out after heading down. Stochastic's heading down. We could get a little bit of a bearish break here. A little bit of a bullish break here as our blue line's getting above our orange line. Our stochastic's starting to roll over, and our momentum is starting to come back down pretty sharp. So overall, we're looking like we're losing quite a bit of steam here. Over on algo, you got a bunch of FUD going on still, so we got a lot of people leaving because, again, everyone thinks Para's hacked just because they connected with my algo, which had a hack. That's why I'm not big into third-party apps, and I'm going to be showing you guys in the next few weeks how to do stuff on your ledger. Stochastic is falling, we have a bearish cross, RSI is starting to fall, momentum has a red dot that could confirm today and bring us down. Momentum, our VWAP is about to make a bearish break, our money flow is heading down rather sharply, so overall we're looking pretty bearish and could get some sharp declines, maybe even surpass that 19-cent support we had. Momentum's coming out pretty sharply on the 4 hour. VWAP came out pretty strongly, but it's trying to head back up. Stochastic's really beat down, and our RSI is heading down pretty sharply. So money flow's barely holding on to bullish territory on the 4 hour, but it's looking like it's going to break to me. 2 hours, somehow we have quite a bit of bullish move on our money flow. Don't know how that's possible when the 4 hours so beat down. Stochastic's trying to head up, RSI is trying to make a recovery, VWAP's trying to recover, and our momentum could possibly make it bend and get a green dot and try and recover from here. So the 2 hours looking pretty hopeful for a recovery from this point. Over on the 1 hour, money flow flopped back to the bearish zone, so that's not too hopeful for a bullish move. Stochastic's starting to cross and roll over, so that's not too hopeful for a bullish move either. And our RSI is starting to pull back just near that neutral zone, so we're getting real close to some bearish territory here. And if we don't gain some bullish momentum from here, then we could see some further downside. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.